What's going on, guys? This is Boston here. Today we're going to be talking about how to flip a house with none of your own money. So everybody thinks that you need a ton of your own cash to flip a house, right? You need money for the down payment, you need money for the renovation, you need money to get the loan, you need money for closing costs, you need money for servicing the debt, you need money for everything, right? Wrong. Instead of using your own money for everything, you actually don't need to use any of your own money, even for the down payment or any of the things I just mentioned. You use what's called other people's money. And you've heard that term before. It's a really common term, but I'm not lying. You literally use other people's money to fund the deal, fund the renovation, fund everything else. And at the end, you pay all of them back and you get the profit if you profited from the flip, of course. So other people's money can be literally anything. It can be a family member, it can be a friend, it can be the bank, it can be a hard money lender, and even credit cards. Like, people forget, credit cards is other people's money as well. I know credit cards are looked at as bad because they just have a bad stigma. You know, you shouldn't use credit cards unless you really need to, or you should only use it for the points and you should pay it off at the end of every month. But honestly, a credit card can be a super useful tool, and we'll get into that here in a second. So I'm gonna use the last flip I did as an example. We flipped a townhouse. It was a 2-bed, 2-bath, 800 square feet, small place, but we got a killer deal on it. We bought it for $50,000. Which I didn't use any of my own money. So I actually talked to a family member for the purchase. I said, hey, I have this deal for $50,000. This is what it's gonna take to renovate it. This is the cost. This is the profit we're gonna make at the end. And after looking at everything, they said, okay, I'm in. I'll lend you $50,000. I said, okay, great. For the renovation costs, that's another $50,000. Where do I get that? I said, hey, I am not gonna use any of my own money for this. I'm actually gonna use credit cards for this. Crazy, right? Because everybody thinks credit cards are bad. But if you use credit cards to buy assets and not liabilities and to make you money rather than to put you in more debt, credit cards are a really useful tool. So I paid $50,000 for the purchase price of the property using a private lender or a family member, and I paid for the renovation, which is another $50,000 with personal and business lines of credit, aka credit cards. So all in all, none of my own money. There was an additional $25,000 of other costs, such as closing costs on the buy side, closing costs on the sell side, inspections, and holding costs. You know, if you are getting loans on these properties, you know, borrowing money from other people, you're most likely gonna have monthly payments until you pay all of them back. All in all, there was an additional $25,000 worth of fees, which again, I used credit cards to pay for. So all in all, I didn't use any of my own money for this flip, and I'm still gonna profit $25,000 once everything is closed and everything is done. So you don't have to use your own money to buy and flip real estate. You really don't. You use other people's money. Basically, to do this as a full-time business, you need a lot of money, but it doesn't have to be yours. You use other people's money. So you have multiple private lenders and you have multiple credit lines, and over time, you build relationships with these lenders to give you higher credit limits, more money to buy real estate, and you grow your network so you have a lot more of them so you can buy more real estate. And you just rinse and repeat, rinse and repeat. And over time, you're gonna be flipping multiple properties a year, sometimes multiple properties at the same time. That's my goal and that's my plan, to flip properties with none of my own money. Honestly, these people that flip at a high level and do this full time, there's no way they're using their own cash for purchasing the property, the rehab, the closing costs. There's no way. There's no way. That's literally millions and millions of dollars. And although they might have that, it just doesn't make sense to use all your money for that. You know, there's other investments out there that you're probably gonna wanna put your money in, and it just makes sense to use other people's money, especially if they want to lend it to you. That's how these people are flipping hundreds of homes per year. They're not using their own money, they're using other people's money and creative financing. And eventually, I plan to flip 20 to 30 to even 50 homes per year, and I wanna make this my full-time job, if you wanna call it a job. I'm just really interested in this process, and it's really fun, and I find it interesting. So eventually, I wanna do this full-time, and that's exactly how I'm gonna do it, with other people's money, not mine. But if you guys enjoyed this video, I'd really appreciate it if you give it a thumbs up, leave a comment if you want to. But that's it for this video, guys. I'll see you guys in the next one. Appreciate it.